Hello there, this is Project Swift casting another Dota is Hard matchup. And casting with me this evening is Juicy. Hello Juicy, how are you doing?
Hello, Swift. Very good. Thanks for having me with you tonight. It's been the first time that I've casted for a while, so I look forward to it.
Yeah, well, it will also be nice to have a co-caster with me. The last couple of weeks when I've been casting, I've just been doing it by myself and been off the chain trying to keep track of all the action that's happening and doing the analysis and calling the action. It's getting pretty hectic, so I might accidentally talk over you.
Yep, and I'm sure I'll do the same, so we'll just do our best to manage, I suppose.
Yeah, of course. But for this match, we should have should be a really interesting match. So we've advertised this one as being a high skill match, and Pandemonium Gaming up the top there, which has a very similar team name to my team name. Yeah, so they're a five. I think they're a 5-stack or they're a 4-stack with a sub. Up against a bunch of quite highly skilled players from our community. So this should be a good matchup.
Yep, that's right. And speaking of good matchup, we saw the OD first pick for the Radiant team, so they're looking to shut down their mid with that pick. It's a very popular pick right now.
Oh yeah, OD's been seeing a lot of play. But speaking of interesting first picks, you've got to see the first ban against Quintuple Mepris. They've first banned Meepo, so just going against that team name.
Yep, just making sure there's no risk of Meepo pick, and if anyone can play him, he is actually an incredibly strong hero in the mid game.
That is true.
As well as the late game. So
yeah, the captain of the Radiant team as well, Artigus, has showed us in a few Dota is Hard matches before that he can play Meepo, so he knows what's going on. So that's probably another first ban. That's another reason for the first ban.
Yep, maybe even pick that bit of a rage OD pick there. Or if you're going to take away my Meepo, have an OD.
Yep. Screw you, I'm going to take all the fun out of your game and pick an OD and probably an anti-mage as well, so yeah. Yeah, meanwhile, on the Pandemonium Gaming, they've just gone global Nakes Bomb. Picked up the Nature's Prophet and the Lifestealer as well, so that the Nature's Prophet will be able to teleport that Lifestealer all around the map, getting in those global ganks. Meanwhile, the Quintuple Mepris have they've gone... not sure if they'll be running a farming Naga or a support Naga, but with those two, the Naga Siren and the Vengeful Spirit, that's a lot of minus armor.
Yep, it absolutely is, and it also sets up for quite a nice tri lane. Whether they decide to go farming Naga or not will be interesting. I wouldn't be too surprised to see something like maybe even a Lena pick or some other kind of tri lane hero to go with the three of them, and then they just pick a standard off lane. But we'll have to wait and see. They're all three ranged heroes so far, so I'm interested to see if they are actually going to run the OD mid or if they do safe lane. Because there are some mid heroes that OD doesn't do terribly well against, like Lone Druid and Razor have been the two common picks to try to counter the Outworld Devourer, and to a lesser extent Bloodseeker. But yeah, we'll have to see how the DiH decides to deal with that mid hero there.
Well, Juicy, it seems that you're dropping in and out a little bit with...
As far as the Prophet pick goes, you mentioned that we could see a few Infest bombs into the Prophet.
Juicy, can you hear me? Hello, Juicy, can you hear me fine? Technical difficulties, what's going on?
I can hear you now, but yeah, I think I'm having some delay.
Yeah, what's coming through is very jumpy, and yeah, it seems like you're taking a bit to respond, so that's unfortunate. Hopefully it clears up by the time the game starts.
Hopefully it's a little bit better now, but we'll have to see how well that, if it's stable or not. I am actually casting over my mobile phone.
Oh, so, okay then.
Yeah.
That could be why.
Yeah, I would say that's why. So I'll have to keep an eye on my ping up the top right corner, and if I see it shoot up, I'll just stop talking for a minute.
Okay then. Yeah, it's cleared up for now, so that's alright. But yeah.
Yep.
Oh, Troll Warlord actually is that pick that's going into Quintuple Mepris. So that's an interesting choice.
5 seconds.
Yeah, absolutely. And it looks like they will be running it, I would say, a Naga support with maybe a Venge Naga Troll, possibly even an aggressive tri-lane that they'll do that with. But I'd expect them to see a solo hero now, maybe like a Weaver or something like that for the Radiant side. As for Dire, they've gone pretty teamfight heavy with that Beastmaster and the Shrek pick, both of which don't usually go that well with Nature's Prophet, because obviously Prophet's all about split push, but we'll see who their last pick is. Maybe they do get another teamfight hero.
Yeah, it could be possible that the Dire team do want to just sort of beef up their teamfight as much as possible, so they are able to, like, to an extent, do 4-man Dota and then have the Nature's Prophet split pushing off, and still, like, in those teamfights, still have a competitive edge against the opposing team in those 4 versus 5 situations.
Yep, and I think Pandemonium must be listening to my cast, because they do go ahead and ban out that Weaver offlane, but the Radiant does decide to go for a Clockwork pick. So a very decent pick for initiating. Yeah,
that does give the Radiant team were sort of lacking on some initiation. They could have, like, opened it up with the Naga Song, maybe with a Vengeful Spirit swap. They're sort of subpar initiations. They're okay as long as you have things to follow them up, and the Clockwork does give you something to follow it up. That hookshot will be able to initiate and counter-initiate those fights really well.
And they can even do stuff like imprison someone and just have the Clockwork walk up and cogs, so the person who got imprisoned obviously stuck in the cogs there. Go for the Bloodseeker pick. I did mention that was a possibility. But yeah, they've gone with Bloodseeker, so wow, interesting game we're going to have here, I think.
Yeah, it will be an interesting one. It's like I feel that the Bloodseeker doesn't really go with the rest of Pandemonium's lineup, as they're quite team heavy, like team fight heavy, whereas the Bloodseeker is much more of picking people off, much more of a solo hero. So it's an interesting choice there, but
Absolutely.
he does counter the Outworld to an extent in the mid lane, as you were saying.
I think it's a bit of an even matchup. I haven't actually seen it that often. I know I mentioned it, that it was a possible counter. Well, at least he's a hero that can do okay against OD. I don't think there are many heroes that win against OD. That there are some that just break even, but he does go for Bloodbath level 1, so that's how he'll be trying to stay in the lane. As for the draft, overall, I gotta say I really prefer Radiance. I think OD and Clockwork are really good against a Lifestealer carry. You can cogs the Lifestealer and then 4-staff out as Clockwork, which is just so strong, and he's really the only DPS they're going to have until this Bloodseeker is able to pick up some damage items, or the Prophet's able to get some damage items. So yeah, we'll have to see how much ganking that Dire can do in the mid game to try to get up to speed before the Troll runs away, I suppose. But Naga will be able to get some farm as well as the game goes on.
Yeah, and well, with that analysis, we shall we'll introduce the teams. Do you want to introduce the Radiant team?
Yep, I'd love to. So if we look down here on the bottom lane, we've got Artigus, who was the captain for Radiant, playing that Clockwork. Looks like we're seeing an aggressive tri-lane from this Naga, who's headed top, being played by Cricket. We've got the Vader playing OD, sitting in the mid lane. We've got Base Siren sitting up here guarding this top regen rune, playing the Vengeful Spirit. And we've got Y'all Niggas Need Jesus playing the Troll Warlord.
That is a fantastic name. And quickly, before we get into the action, the captain of the Dire team is going to be played by PG Arcus, going on the Bloodseeker with, oh god, how am I going to say that? Vegeta Jita, I think. Vegeta Jita playing the Beastmaster, with Goku on the Lifestealer, with Piccolo playing the Nature's Prophet, and finally we are the Prestige on the Leshrac. So yeah, it looks like looks like a safe lane tri-lane. An aggressive tri-lane up against the safe lane dual lane with the Prophet jungle. So we should be seeing a fair bit of action in top, but I think the other two lanes are going to be something to watch out for. The Clockwork on the Beastmaster is an interesting matchup that you don't see very often, and also the Bloodseeker on the Outworld is going to be an interesting matchup, because like as you were saying before, it does break even. It's sort of fairly skill dependent.
Yeah, it really is. And just while you were talking about those lanes, we saw a really good block from the Troll Warlord, so already this lane's quite pushed far down for the Dire safe lane. The other thing is this Leshrac is nowhere near the Lifestealer right now, and rather than pulling, I'd like to see him actually sit in the lane. But he does go ahead and do a single pull here, and he's going to try to deward this. But we're going to have a DC, so a quick pause coming up.
Yes. Yeah, it's sort of something that I see a bit when you have a jungler is the dual lane, where the support still sort of plays like they're in a tri-lane sort of situation. I feel that in a dual lane, the support, it's much more critical for them to remain in the lane and really babysit that carry, make sure that he's not getting harassed and make sure that he can get that farm. Whereas in the tri-lane, one support is able to sort of do that until they gain the advantage, while the other support is able to go and do the pulls then. I don't know, it's all situational though.
I feel like there's just such kill potential in this with these three heroes, with the Troll and the Venge and the Naga. I mean, if you look at the Lifestealer skill build, he's so bold as to not even level a point in Rage yet. So if they can get a net on him, I think he's just going to die, because Lifestealer does have relatively low HP at early levels.
Yeah, that is true.
Hero, at least.
Especially the Ensnare being able to go through Rage is a big point. But the 1.5 second magic missile and then the 2 second net, couple that with the Troll. Like Troll, I really enjoy Troll from level 2 to level 5. I think he's quite strong around those two levels, and that is because you have that double nuke from Whirling Axes. You can you can throw your Whirling Axes ranged form to slow them, like 30% slow over 3 seconds at level 1 is nothing to be sort of nothing to
turn your nose up at.
Yeah, that's the one. I'm looking for something like that. Thank you. But then you can switch it over here. He's happily shown me. Oh, they're going here. They had the stun. They've got the slow. Is he going to toggle it and use that Whirling Axes for that damage at the end there? There we are. There is a perfect example of how that tri-lane is supposed to go.
Yep, very well executed from all three members, holding off on that Whirling Axes till right at the end of the Ensnare and the Stun and there. So, yep, very well done by Radiant. And they're going to get a big double wave now because the Leshrac single pulled again. And there you go. That's why I feel like Leshrac should just stay in the lane with the Lifestealer.
Yeah, exactly. I was about to bring that up. That is a perfect example of why in a dual lane the support needs to be there to be able to support the keep the carry alive for those few critical levels. Until he can sort of pull ahead.
Alright, well if we have a quick look in the mid lane, check out the CS. Looks like Bloodseeker's sitting at 7-5, OD at 10-4, so pretty even. A few more denies there for Bloodseeker, but he's holding his own so far.
Outworld getting a little kill on the Hawk as it flies over the top there. But yeah, in this bottom lane, the Beastmaster is opting to not stack the Ancients through that line there. So he's just straight up man fighting the clock for what farm he can get. And he's doing fine with those axes. As you can see, the last hit, it's okay. He's 8 for 12 up against the Lifestealer. I mean, not Lifestealer, the Clockwork, sorry. So he's doing okay, but I feel that he could be getting a bit better farm if he felt like stacking the Ancients as opposed to harassing with the axes.
And if we have a look at this top lane, I mean, this Lifestealer is just being completely gimped. Lestrac's still hanging around by the jungle camp and desperately trying to deward, and he is able to do so. But again, he really just needs to be sitting in lane and trying to help this Lifestealer who's just getting zoned out by this Vengeful Spirit.
Naga Siren taking a lot of damage though. Vengeful Spirit's coming in to help out. Naga Siren throws in a net, goes back in, he's getting keen. He has healed himself up. Nature's Prophet's teleporting in, and I think this Naga Siren's going to be dying right here. One more hit, the Leshrac does land that stun. But the Lifestealer's going to pay for it as these two supports, the Vengeful Spirit and the Troll Warlord comes in. Troll Warlord gets a double kill. Leshrac's doing a lot of damage with that Diabolic Edict. Running away, we've got a few ranged attacks. One more, does he get the one? Yes, he does get that one thrown in. Excellent toggle of Berserker's Rage for the extra movement speed there.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a great spot there. He did actually turn that Berserker's range on for the extra speed and then toggled it back off to get that last shot. So very well done. And we do see a Clockwork kill on the bottom lane. Didn't even need his hookshot for that one.
Oh, yeah, in the middle of all that happening, Clockwork managed to snag a kill. So yeah, that was... Naga Siren was a bit out of position, trying to get a little bit too aggressive on this Leshrac. Leshrac did have 2 levels over the top of the Naga Siren, so was able to do a surprising amount of damage to him. And then with the Nature's Prophet teleporting in, sort of, yeah, caught the Naga out, but it just got turned around instantly. And that's the power of the Troll Warlord at, like, the early game. He can do, with those 2 nukes, he dishes out a lot, like a surprising amount of damage.
Yep, and he did manage to get a triple kill in that, so 301 now with 21 CS, leading the CS board, so very happy Troll Warlord here in this aggressive tri lane for now.
Putting him far ahead, and now he has those phase boots, and has a magic wand, once the courier brings it up to him.
Yeah, we did actually see this Prophet TP in, which helped get the kill on the Vengeful Spirit, but he did actually end up dying as well, so he's a bit behind, just sitting with 1 clarity and 600 gold at 6 minutes, so definitely not where you want to be as a Nature's Prophet this 6 minutes in.
That's almost... I didn't see the Prophet's starting items. It was... Well, I saw that it was a clarity and a tango, but I didn't see what else he purchased for his team. So, like, at the moment, it looks like he's farmed 50 gold in 5 minutes, and that's not good for a Prophet.
Kathy actually just told me that he had started with 6 clarities, so...
Oh, okay.
Not very heavy on the regen, but hasn't really been able to make those clarities pay for themselves quite yet. Still catching up, so we'll see what he's able to bring to the table in maybe 10 or 15 minutes time when he's got a bit more farm. Yeah,
for sure. Meanwhile, in the mid-match here, the Bloodseeker is starting to fall behind underneath the Outworld a fair bit. Outworld, instead of maxing the Astral Imprisonment and the Essence Aura, has realised that his Astral Imprisonment isn't doing so much against the Bloodseeker, and has put a level in the orb.
Is actually coming onto the Venge at top here, so looks like we do have a Primal Roar up. Who they're going to decide to go on? They're going to try to bring down this Troll, and that's a dead Troll, I think.
Yeah, all 4 up against the Troll. Lots of damage going on to the 2 supports from the Leshrac. Troll's trying to eat his way out, and might get a kill, get a kill out of it, and he might even get away. That movement speed, there's no range to attack.
Yeah, that's right, and that Stout Shield just paying in dividends right now. Survived a few extra shots there where he would have definitely died, and with these phase boots and the extra speed from Berserker's Rage, nope, he's not going to get out. Does get picked off by the Bloodseeker there, so definitely one advantage of Bloodseeker is you do have that vision when they're low HP, and I don't think we'll see the Beastmaster going down, but getting a kill on that Troll, very worthwhile, and Bloodseeker's able to catch up a bit from what he missed out in mid from getting that kill, and ending that dominating streak.
But the Clockworks come top going on this Lifestealer, and Net is thrown in. We've got a few hits. The Nature's Prophet's teleporting in, and he might be able to catch somebody up, but the Outworld Devourers come straight in under the tower, dived in under. They're going to get this Nature's Prophet really, really easily. Excellent double kill for the Radiant team.
Yeah, that's right, and unfortunately the Prophet kind of gifting another kill there by TPing in and then dying shortly after. It's kind of what happened the first time around, so it's good that he's trying to help out his team, but as Prophet you're just so squishy and you have no escape if you've just TP'd in, so he's really far behind now.
Yeah, it seemed like the right move to do at the time, but then the Outworld Devourer just came in from behind and there was no getting away. This Leshrac hiding up in the hill here.
Oh yeah, he is too.
Hiding up in the forest.
Get out of there.
Yeah, especially once this tower goes down, he's going to be in a bit of a hairy situation, as I feel the Troll is going to be sticking around and farming.
I don't think they'll be leaving before that tower goes down. They've got a Troll ulti up again in 5 seconds time, so only a 30-second cooldown on that. It's just so strong for pushing towers early on. And we see 2 heroes sitting at bottom lane with a Clockwork TPing in. And do get Roar out on the Clockwork. We'll see whether they're able to get a kill here or not. Unfortunately, the Sprout actually misses and only gets the Beastmaster, so a bit unfortunate there. And Clockwork going to be able to get away with that excellent escape on the Clockwork. Meanwhile, Bloodseeker actually goes down at top.
Massive misplay by the Prophet there, trapping the wrong hero in there. That was quite unfortunate.
I think Piccolo needs to spend a bit more time training on Namek before he TPs out to try to sprout anyone else.
Troll Warlord picking up another key item there, has picked up his Morbid Mask, and this will allow him to transition into the jungle quite happily.
Yeah, we'll see whether he turns that into a Mask of Madness or just into a straight Helm. Most of the time, people do build Helm on Troll and then do something like go and grab an Alpha Wolf with that, dominate an Alpha Wolf, and then just follow it around. Just give you that more oomph in your attacks. And that combined with the Phase Boots and the Berserker's Rage just gives you so much DPS.
Depending on some of the
like
other heroes on your team as well, you can use that the Helm of the Dominator to, pull up a creep and then stack the Ancients with it, as you see a lot of Gyrocopters do in pro games.
Yeah, that's right. We'll see whether he decides to do that. But meanwhile, this Lifestealer in a very precarious position here. Clockwork just looking for an opening. He's going to run into the Beastmaster and the Leshrac. Does do a great defensive cogs though, so he'll be able to get away from there. And we'll see the engaged. Beastmaster's going to go down right at the start, but does manage to get his Aurora off on the Troll beforehand. We'll see if Lifestealer is going to be able to do anything about this Troll. Clockwork does blink forward and manage to get the Beastmaster, and unfortunately the Troll just able to live on 80 HP now, and he does end up surviving. So,
wow, that was
that
huge.
And shield paid for itself about 4 times this game.
Unfortunately, you sort of like started lagging out towards the end of the fight there, but I didn't want to break your stream. You're doing so well. But yes, that was a massive fight for the Radiant team. Sort of great defensive cogs from the Clockwork, as you said, and excellent jumping in from the support. They went straight in. Troll ran straight into the face, and with the Helm of the Dominator and that poor man's shield, he was able to live through a lot of damage. And the supports just ripped through what was left of the just ripped through all the the back line of the Dire team. And then with the Nature's Prophet teleporting right in the end there, that made it the team wipe.
Yeah, so very close. They definitely paid for going on that Troll with their lives. So a bit unfortunate that Prophet actually did die at the end as well. They're going to go on this Lifestealer again, and he's well gone, I'd say. Oh, does infest,
has infest.
We'll see how long he can survive for.
Does have a Leshrac and a Beastmaster here to cover him. Beastmaster still has Primal Roar.
Oh wow. The OD managing to kill that Bloodseeker, but he does go down to the Prophet ulti. In the meantime, this Lifestealer is going to get away. But
they do manage to get a kill on the Clockwork out of that engagement as well, and Nargasiren has to use their ultimate to let the others get away.
That Naga ulti just so strong. It's a free get out of jail free card for situations like that.
So yeah, the Dire team are looking pretty down at the moment. The net worth is kind of scary. The Troll has got a lot of gold from all the double kills and those team fights that he's managing to pick up. But the Dire team are holding in there. They did manage to get an important kill on the Clockwork there while saving as the Radiant team overextended to try and kill that Lifestealer. So that was an important kill, and they are holding in, but how long can they hold in for? They're still quite behind.
Yeah, the only real thing that's going well for the Dire is they have actually got 1 extra tower on top of Radiant's single tower. So 2 towers down for Dire and 1 for Radiant. So they have got a little bit more gold in that sense, but that's pretty much all they've got going for them right now.
That Nature's Prophet split push.
Yep, and we see this Clockwork looking for a hook in mid. Ping's coming out from the Bloodseeker on the Clockwork, so they do know that he's there. We'll see if he decides to go. Yep, he cancelled it. Well, definitely toying with the idea there, but decides against it for now.
Can be difficult to find those important hook shots as a Clockwork when you have a Beastmaster on the enemy team, because the Hawk is usually flying around the edge of the fight and will often spot you out. Although conversely, as you just saw there, Clockwork's rockets are an excellent way to farm that Hawk.
Yeah, they really are. Great counter for that. So get rid of the Dire vision, get a bit of vision yourself. And we just saw something fly out. What was being delivered? Maybe just some think that was the bottle that just came out to the clock. And let's have a quick look at the items. Really, the only big items so far would be that Helm of the Dominator up for that Troll Warlord. No one else picked up much yet. Prophet looks like he's actually going for a Necro book, so not a bad item at all. And we are actually going to see the OD die in mid.
Yep, caught the action on that one.
Yeah, that's good. So that was a roar, I think, into a Nature's Prophet TP for that.
Yep, but as you said, Nature's Prophet's looking for the Necro book. Vengeful Spirit's going on the Prophet here, but I think he's all on his own.
Clockwork ulti. Clockwork, is he going to go for it? No, decides against it.
Meanwhile, these two going on the Naga Siren, but nah, oh, just missed the stun. Leshrac missed the stun by pixels. That was so close.
He's got to be a bit upset about that.
Oh, the Naga's shitting himself.
Does manage to get away. And wow, we look at this Troll Warlord has been farming on the bottom lane for the last few minutes. He's up to 85 last hits, so very farmed at this point with 4 kills. Well, 4 for 1.
He's doing very well. Going straight into that Helm of the Dominator has allowed him to sort of just push a lane and then go back into the jungle. Come back, push the lane, and then go back into the jungle. It's a very effective way for carries, sort of backup carries, any sort of carry who thrives on that lifesteal situation to be able to farm. If they are able to... sorry, I just missed that kill in the middle here. They're pushing on mid. But yeah, it is an effective way for carries to farm if they are able to pull it off.
Yeah, it looks like they did an OD imprison into Cogs, I think, for that kill. I only caught the tail end of it, but I think that's what it was. And we did see a nice imprison also on the Clockwork to save him from dying to the Nature's Prophet ulti. So good play from Radiant there, just making sure they keep their lead up. And I'd say it's going to be a slow road downhill now for the Dire team. They're going to have to pull something out of their hat to come back from this, I think.
While this is happening, the Radiant are giving up a free tower top, though. Lifesteal are getting the last hit on it, so that will reduce Radiant's sort of map control there. That means that they're going to have a bit more of a difficult time roaming into the jungle and trying to gank.
Yeah, and we saw a Nature's Prophet TP into an Infest Bomb on the bottom lane. Haven't been able to pick up anyone yet, and in fact the Bloodseeker ends up dying. Lifesteal is going to end up dying here as well, and Prophet's going to snake out of here on low HP. We're going to see the hook shot. He's going to go for it, cancels it, does manage to land it, and that turns into a triple kill for the Radiant team. So a little bit too aggressive there, I think. They haven't got enough items yet for that Lifestealer to be able to do the damage fast enough. Yeah,
that was a foul gank. It was good in theory, had the Bloodseeker going in with the teleport from the Nature's Prophet Lifestealer, but they just, yeah, as you said, they don't have the items, they don't have the levels to back that sort of aggression up at this point of the game. They need to be playing much more passively, sort of get the Lifestealer in the jungle, get the Nature's Prophet, trying to do those split pushes, trying to be a bit safer about it though. And then having the Beastmaster, the Bloodseeker, and the Leshrac try and get those pickoffs.
Yep, that's right, and we are going to see a net come out and that Leshrac get picked off as well. But the other thing about ganking an OD at this time is I think this is really when he's the strongest. He's got his aura maxed up, he's starting to get a few points into Orb, he's got Intel Treads, and Nulls, and a Staff of Wizardry. So I mean, if you're going to gank him, you better hope you have some damage to bring to the table, because he's certainly going to do damage to you. And we are going to see this Prophet get picked off again here.
The Radiant team are doing very good at being where that Prophet is. Meanwhile, the Bloodseeker did manage to pick off the Vengeful Spirit on the, as the Vengeful Spirit was running through doing some warding.
Yeah, so that's something. I mean, getting a kill and a support, that's all you can really hope for at this point, and nothing wrong with that at all, so good for them. The other thing about this Bloodseeker pick, just because I don't see it that often, is if you have a fight with the Dire team, you better hope you win, because if you're all on low HP and trying to run away, it's just not going to happen. And especially the fact that you get extra armor on that Bloodseeker, having long drawn-out fights and fights that kind of don't really go that great for Radiant are going to be very good for Bloodseeker, because that's where he excels in these kind of drawn-out fights, where he can throw his silence on multiple people. And while I'm just on the topic about silence, it's actually so strong. Like you can cast it on multiple people, and it affects more than one person at once. So very, very strong. That's
true. Unfortunately, you're sort of breaking up a little bit there again, but Yeah, definitely. If the Radiant have a bad fight and a bunch of them are running away on low life, you just go clean up crew, Isle Bloodseeker. Get in there. And, yep, get all those kills, pick them up, pick up all those last hits, pick up all those heroes that run away on low life, and make an absolute killing. And right now, I think, yes, you see the Troll Warlord going the Black King Bar, so while Bloodseeker will be an important... He'll be important if the game goes much later. Once he gets up like an extra level in his ultimate, that ultimate Rupture will start becoming very threatening, and it does go through Black King Bar. So one of Troll's problems is that he is relatively easily kited. He doesn't have a massive movement speed, and most of his damage is done while he's in melee form. So if you're able to kite him around, that is an effective counter, and Rupture makes sure that you can kite him around even while he has that Black King Bar active.
Yeah, that's right. Rupture does go through BKB, which I relearnt last night in my game against a Bloodseeker. So, yeah, definitely very good against BKB, but we do see the pre-20 minute BKB in Helm on the Troll. So he's hitting it over 200 damage a hit before 20 minutes in, so just so farmed right now.
He's going to be doing a lot of damage to whoever he touches, and those bashes going straight through Lifestealer's Rage, and will be absolutely shredding those lower life intel heroes. And even the Beastmaster himself will go straight through his lack of armor.
How do you feel about this Necro book on the Prophet? Because while I think it is a good item on Prophet, I don't know if it's worth rushing. I really feel like you're better off getting a Shadow Blade or even a Scythe if you want to rush something. But yeah, rushing Necro book's definitely unconventional, I want to say, on Prophet.
It's good in theory. It's much better if you get an early lead. If you get an early lead, it is... well, that makes more sense. The Beastmaster has also picked up a Necronomicon, so having the two of those heroes pick up early Necro books, they're trying to get some, like, a bit more push aggression coming out. Makes it much more difficult for some of those AoE heroes to try and deal with it.
And we do see the Rupture on the Naga Siren, and was silent, so not able to get her sleep off quite yet. We're going to see a big OD ulti, catches 4 heroes, I think, there, and we're going to see all of DiH's heroes drop at once. A very short Naga sleep, but unfortunately a full 5-man wipe for the DiH side. They do manage to pick off Naga, though, with those Necro books.
Yep, that Necro book threw out a little Riptide at the end there and got nailed by that Necro warrior. But yeah, it was good initiation. That was probably the best that the DiH team could have hoped for in their initiation. Getting a Rupture and a Roar off on 2 separate targets. But they were unable to capitalize on it. That Troll and that Outworld Devourer just does too much damage, and with that teamfight disruption from the Clockwork, it's so difficult for the DiH team to sort of deal with at the moment.
Yeah, that last wheel, nothing to be trifled with. As you can see there in the combat log, I just chucked it in the chat. It actually does 400, I think it's 400 pure damage.
Yeah, 400 pure damage at level 1. I think it's...
Yeah, no joke.
I think it's 600 at level 2, and I think it bumps up to 1,000 at level 3. It might be 800, but it's a lot. Level 3 Necro book, if you kill the red Necro warrior, it's a lot of damage.
Oh wow, we do see a Rupture on the Clockwork. I think he 4-staffed just before that, and they haven't got a stun left. Nope, no stun coming out there.
But the Vengeful Spirit jumps in to try and stop that stun, but ends up just needlessly throwing away his life. Lesharak's stun was on cooldown, and they wouldn't have been able to stop that teleport from the Clockwork. So a bit of a misplay from the Vengeful Spirit there, but his intentions were good.
Intentions are good. Our poor support's always trying to do the best they can, and sometimes just dying without needing to. But nevertheless, we do see Prophet die on the bottom lane as well. He's got his Necro 2 now, so a little bit more push power, but sitting at 1 kill, 8 deaths, just nowhere enough for 23 minutes in, I feel.
Yeah, so as I was saying before, like going Necro book first in theory is good, but it is much better if you get an early lead, which DiH team have not, unfortunately. So these Necro books are going to a little bit of a waste.
Yep, and they've only pushed one tower in the last, I would say, 10 minutes or so. They got those two early towers pretty quick on in the game. Prophet actually able to get a kill on the support Leshrac over near the Dire Ancient, so that's good. And we are going to see 4 Dire Heroes come in here with their Necro Book to try to push this top tower.
Seeing how this push is going. But yes, in that fight, Outworld Devourer just 4 hit the Leshrac. Level 15 Outworld up against a level 9 Leshrac, I think it was. Just level 8 Leshrac. So 4 hits, Leshrac was gone. That is how much damage the Outworld is doing and how squishy the supports are on the Dire team.
Yep, and we do see still a 9-second BKB on that Troll and a full 10-second BKB for the OD now. So the team fight of Radiant is just so strong right now, even with those Necro Books on the Dire side.
Well, I'm pretty sure the Necro Book damage doesn't go through BKBs as well, so that, so like the Last Word, or Last Will, whatever it's called, that one,
yep.
that damage doesn't go through a BKB, so that's another thing to consider. Means that the 2 carry heroes are able to pick off those Necro Warriors in case they're harassing any of the supports.
Yep. And Lifestealer has got his armlet. I think he's had that for a while now. Just going on drums. We are going to see the Leshrac die again, unfortunately.
All that damage going out.
Yep, that Leshrac, I'm not too sure what he was doing there, to be honest. He was hanging around there for a little while and stayed a bit too long. Lifestealer getting a bit of farm from these Ancients at least, and he's going to be able to pick up his drums from that. But we do see the Troll finally starting up on this Roshan. I was wondering when Troll was going to decide he was big enough. You can actually do this at level 7, pretty much solo if you have Phase Boots Helm.
Yeah, so
he's waiting until a safer time to do that.
So I learned. Yeah, one of my played in a tournament recently, and as I was playing Troll Warlord, I realised that I have no idea how to play Troll Warlord, so I had to ask my team, like, what level can you solo Roshan? So yeah, I found out, yeah, it's really early, so level 7, with Phase Boots and a Helm of the Dominator, pretty much you can go nuts on a Roshan.
Yep, and it's kind of like Ursa in that the first half of the Roshan is really the most dangerous part. Kind of once he's below half HP, it's kind of a lot safer just because of the way that Fervor works and the Fury swipes as well. So kind of interesting Enigma here. Sorry, interesting Aegis nabbing heroes early on. Other heroes that can solo stuff like Enigma, but I guess more dangerous for him later on. So just something I like thinking about when you're doing solo Roshan strats, how safe it really is. And we are going to see a net come up on this Beastmaster, so I think we'll be able to see him picked off here. We've got 3 Radiant heroes, but they are going to end up rupturing the Clockwork. I don't think that's great a target for them. Naga living on just a low HP, able to use that mech before he drops, and they actually do pick up the Clockwork. The fight all of a sudden going very well for the Dire side. No one's focusing on this Troll yet. I think they really should, but the Naga Sleep comes out, and are we going to see Radiant pull out of this? They're thinking about it, I'm not so sure. The Troll's staying in against 4 heroes, chasing the Leshrac. Now, very messy fight for Dire. I think we saw a buyback as well. Yep, Clockwork did buyback, so we're still seeing a 5-on-5. Bloodseeker going to be the first one to go down. Meanwhile, this Troll just soloing 4v1, killing their entire team. And he's going to be attacked by the Lifestealer now, but Radiant has finished cleaning up that Bloodseeker, and they're all going to come up and help now. And I think we're going to end up seeing almost everyone from Dire die here. Prophet, the last one left, and he does go down as well. So I feel like if Dire had focused on those 4 heroes over in this area, if those 4 heroes had just focused on the Troll who was here by himself, they maybe could have done something and popped the Aegis, but Dire does GG.
I think even, yeah, for that team fight at that point, once they got the Clockwork, I think they should have backed out. That's an important kill, and there was no way they were going to be able to take the rest of them. I think if they got that kill and backed out, they would have done well. But yes, GG was called. Interesting, sort of a messy fight at the end there. It was sort of a bit of both ways for a while there, but yes, Radiant were able to turn it around and push that advantage that they've had the whole game.
Yep, so sorry, hogging the mic a little bit in that last drawn-out fight, but nonetheless, yep, thanks very much for casting with me. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, that is okay. I was following the action fine. So thank you very much, Juicy, for casting with me. It was enjoyable.
No worries, I'll see you on the next Soda is Hard.
See you in the next match.